All right, here we go. DL Hughley back on Vlad TV.
All it took was tequila and cigars, and we were right
Tequila
back,
and
baby.
cigars. That's all it takes.
I'm such a cheap date.
Welcome back, man.
Thank you, man. Always good to see you, man.
Always. Well, there's a lot going on right now.
Sure.
But I think first and foremost, we have to talk about the whole Diddy situation.
Yes. Well, now we know his name is Diddy, huh? Diddy or didn't he, huh? This is...
Diddy or did he not?
Here's the thing. My position is really the same as the Constitution. I think you're innocent until proven guilty. But I do find it amazing that every time somebody's accused of something, there are any number of people closely associated with that ordeal that can corroborate things. Like I heard some of his bodyguards talking about how there was champagne bought and the champagne was drugged and they were told to stay away from the champagne bottle, certain champagne bottles they stayed away from, certain they took, and that allegedly he went around and put drugs in people's mouths. Here's the thing. If you watch that shit and you didn't say nothing about that shit, you're just as horrible as he is if it happened. So I think that horrible people need accomplices too. And they can't do, like, it's amazing how when I watch, I guess America won't get it or people won't get it until there is a documentary or a Gayle King interview. Because apparently our ears are connected to a remote control. But if he did the things that he's accused of, it is consistent with the type of things that people have done that are kind of morally bankrupt. And they surround themselves with people who are morally bankrupt and who abet them. And then those people go on to do interviews and sell interviews about the very horrors that they were accomplices to. It's insane to me.
Well, yeah. Cassie sued him for $30 million. Now, as soon as that happened, his lawyers responded, said that this is nonsense, that she's been trying to extort him, and she's going to write a tell-all book. But in less than 24 hours, he settled.
Well, see, like, I don't know that means paying somebody off. Means, like, you can't accept that it meant that it was Puffy's admission of guilt and not accept that Michael Jackson was not guilty. You know what I mean? When he paid that loss.
Right.
So
a settlement does not mean guilt.
Right.
I have had multiple lawsuits and I've settled not because I was guilty. It was because it was ultimately cheaper to settle than to go through the legal process.
As have I.
I get it. But I did not settle those lawsuits in less than 24 hours either.
Well,
that made it look a little crazy, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
But I can say this, that I like you have been sued and settled, and it's the timing issue. I don't think that anything in and of itself means anything, but you are the things you've done. You are the things you've done. If enough people, the thing that I find interesting is, remember that we talked about this a couple times ago. They had that the documentary on Freaknik.
Yes, which isn't out yet, is it?
No, because they and then junked it in. But there were a lot of people on Freaknik, right, who didn't want the things that they had been done to potentially have been caught on tape, right? Now, if those things exonerated them or proved that something they didn't want to happen, proved that something that they didn't want to happen was happening, it wouldn't be a problem you seeing those things. But if they don't, then to me, people do all kinds of things and then, have a different perspective of them. So I'm willing to believe that willing to wait till all the facts came out. But to your point, it does seem curious that right after I found out you tried to kill Suge, and right after that,